Connecting the Senquip orb towards Cumulocity IoT. Let me introduce you to Norman from Senquip. Hi Norman, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Christian, for the opportunity for me to show you how to connect a Senquip device to the Cumulocity cloud.
So yeah, let's get started right away.
Excellent, thank you. So everything we're going to talk about today is available in an application note at senquip.com. This is the device that we are connecting, called a Senquip orb. It's got all kinds of internal sensors, and it also allows you to connect to all kinds of external sensors like CAN bus and RS-232 and Modbus. So if you scroll down, you'll find under application information an application note on connecting to Cumulocity IoT. That's a great example of a dashboard there on Cumulocity, Christian.
Yeah, that looks great, obviously. So you can also see what's possible within Cumulocity. And also this quick start guide is available on the Software AG device partner portal too. So you could get going either way, accessing Senquip from the end user perspective, or if you come from Cumulocity on the device partner portal.
So it's really easy to connect third-party devices to Cumulocity. And we're going to use today these things called templates from Cumulocity that make it super easy to send data.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, actually. That is the MQTT API used by Cumulocity, and it uses smart REST templates that are predefined. But actually, you don't have to care about anything of these details, because this is what the Quick Start Guide is about. It just hands you over a code that you can just use to get started instantly. Those templates, of course, provide a good basis to customize your code in the end if you have other machinery or would like to see other data. So this is a great starting point to use those static templates regarding inventory information, measurements, alarms or events, and even send some operations down to the device. And if even though this list is not enough, you could create some customized templates on your own using the Cumulocity UI, and this is pretty easy to start off with, I guess.
Fantastic. So first of all, let's go and configure a Senquip device. So we're going to use the Senquip portal to do that. Now, I'll choose a device here quickly. Let's take that one. Right, so we're going to take this device, which you can see is measuring all kinds of things. It's on a combine harvester. This is its location on the east coast of Australia. So it's measuring temperatures and pressures and voltages and pitch and roll and all kinds of other information. It's also got a feed coming out of that machine, which is telling it the RPM, the engine hours, the fuel level, and a few other things. So we're going to send that to the Cumulocity cloud. So first of all, we need to tell the device where to send the data. So we go to Settings, Endpoint, and in the endpoint here, I've pre-configured it to speed things up. We've pre-configured the endpoint is MQTT dot and then a URL here that ends in cumulocity.com, and there's a port number 1883, which is the port the data is communicated over. You need a username. The username is made up of two things. The first bit there is the tenant ID, and the tenant ID you can get by going to Cumulocity, clicking on your name, and there it is. There's even a copy button provided. So that's where you get the tenant ID, and then your username forms the second part, and you put a password in. That's it. So now the Senquip device knows where to send the data. Now we need to tell it what data to send. Something fairly unique about Senquip devices is that you can run user-written scripts on the devices, JavaScripts. We're going to use a JavaScript today to formulate a custom packet, one that complies with all of the requirements of the Cumulocity templates, and we'll use the script to tell the Senquip orb what to send. I'm just going to copy the ID. I'm going to copy in a script that I've pre-written.
And it's actually stored, the basic script is actually stored in the Quick Start Guide. So you could just copy paste the information there, and it's perfectly fine because the Senquip orb already has a variety of sensors, right, that you can just use on its own.
Yeah, exactly. So the only thing you need to really take note of here is here are all the template numbers, 100, 110, and on we go, the 200s for some measurements. This is where we're doing the actual templating, and this is how we tell the device, the Senquip orb, how to send to Cumulocity IoT. So we're going to download that to our device, reboot our device. And now the next thing is, if I refresh my device management.
Quite remarkable actually, that you just have a field that you can enter the JavaScript code in. You don't have to care about any development environment or any of that stuff. You can just access the portal and paste your code there, which is quite a great feature.
And now we've got a new device that's arrived here. So it's registered the device.
Yeah, you see the information tab, some alarms, control events, and service monitoring related information to the device. And now all your information that we previously had in the Senquip portal is also available in Cumulocity. And for the device management that we're actually looking at, this is the first point of contact that you have investigating the information that is coming from the device. The next step would be actually using this information from a user perspective. The user perspective would be from the cockpit view. We have very quickly prepared a little cockpit to actually not have the burden to click around, but it's quite straightforward. You can play around, you can add widgets to the cockpit if you would like, you can edit it, you can change the size of the different widgets you're seeing here. That was just something I felt makes sense to represent the data that we're currently seeing. So this is how I interpret it to usefully or to get use of the Senquip data, but this is totally up to the user. He or she can just play around, use it in a completely different way. This is just how I felt personally. There's value in seeing the information. I inserted a little image. It could be a totally different one. If there's a different machine, just enter or upload an image of a different machine. You could investigate the location of the device. You can see all the different on the bottom left, you can see all the different measurements coming in. You could filter on this list. You could do basically whatever brings you the most value. You could set the different time range of the data you're looking at. You can instantly see the battery level. So it takes you just a short look and you see what the device actually is doing and what's happening out there, even in the remote locations of Australia, which is a very nice example actually of today's connected world, since Norman is located in Australia and I'm actually sitting in Darmstadt, Germany. So this is some very, very nice example I quite enjoy looking at and experience this. Our partnership actually getting into speed, and so we're actually seeing real data and have this shared, this joint solution set up quite quickly. And this is what you can do on your own, just using the quick start guide, get it downloaded, get a Senquip device, get access to Cumulocity IoT, and it literally takes you 5 minutes to see your data. That's it. And of course, Cumulocity offers a variety of data processing options. You can do streaming analytics, insert any kind of rules that the user would feel make sense. You can create, using the AppHarmer tool, some logic, threshold limits. You can combine all your measurements in a way that you feel is giving you any value. You could send alarms with a combined logic. So basically, this is the place, Cumulocity, where the end user can actually start creating and getting the value and the most out of the information that is collected, even in the most rural of areas in the outback of Australia. For this example, we are located at the East Coast, but since Senquip also tracks devices in mining and all the other different verticals, it's even possible to place it on boats. So every rural area, you can track your devices. which is a great, great symbiosis of our two solutions, I think.
Fantastic. Well, Christian, thank you very much for the opportunity to show how easy it is to get data into the Cumulocity portal. If people want more information on Senquip devices, they can go to senquip.com.
And the same is actually true for our part. You can go to Software AG, enter the device partner portal, see the Senquip devices, and get your quick start guide from there.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and enjoy connecting your first device.